So I found out that, you can actually still disguise if you hit the V-disguise button.
Okay, so tell me what this V-disguise is, because I've heard of it, but I don't know whether I've used it or not.
Okay, I have it bound to B, so when I hit B, I'll just disguise as who I disguised as last time. Yeah.
Oh, okay, B. Sorry, I was saying V. Yeah, I have that set up, I think, on Y. So once you lose, normally you've got your arms flailing in the air. I think they call it the humiliation round. And you're saying you can't normally disguise by using the normal disguise technique. So by using this quick disguise, even after the round, you can disguise.
Yeah.
Yep, got it.
Also, I have one other thing. This is actually just a bind, which I'm going to send you.
Okay.
It is a bind to allow you to disguise, to undisguise.
Oh, okay. So if you're going down, say you're disguised, you're sitting on the cart, you're wanting to push, you can use this bind to de-disguise.
Yeah, so normally you'd actually have to swing or shoot to undisguise.
Takes an extra second or second and a half.
Yeah, well, this just allows you to do this undisguised. But Keely, this can also be used in the humiliation phase of the game, right? To undisguise and, in fact, actually taunt kill people.
Oh, of course. That's nice.
So you can use a combo of these two to disguise and undisguise, even though you don't have access to your weapons.
Yeah.
And then you can just taunt kill people. So that's...
The script that you're talking about not only lets you undisguise so that you can taunt kill, does it also choose your melee weapon?
No, I don't think it does. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. So I sent you the bind.
Yeah, good.
But the thing is, right, this bind can also be really quite useful in the fact that I don't fully know if this works, but have you ever seen spy smoke?
The puff of smoke when a spy is disguising?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you disguise before you cloak, what happens is you'll just see this puff of smoke, and that's where the spy is, right? So you just shoot that and you kill the spy. I don't fully know if this works, but as far as I can tell, it should. During that time where you have the puff of smoke going on, right? If you undisguise, then I'm pretty sure at that point the smoke just stops.
Okay.
Now, don't quote me on that. Pretty sure this is just from my experience where I've managed to draw people's attention away from somewhere else by using this trick. Don't know if it works, but yeah.
Yeah, now I have heard something along those lines where if you are going to be changing disguises, or I guess getting a disguise, make sure that you are fully cloaked before you change disguise. Otherwise, there will be that telltale puff of smoke.
Yeah, that's of course a very important thing to avoid.
No, that makes perfect sense. Now, I'm also looking at the way you're using your knife at the moment. You flick to opening and closing your ringer a lot. Yeah. Your knife's constantly flicking. Is that just to keep your mind on the job? Yeah, no, that's just because I'm bored.
That's just because I'm bored, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because
you gotta keep your hands
the same. I do, yeah. So I do appreciate that. Now, let me ask you, the third item of your loadout that we haven't talked about is the gun. And I was trying to work out what you've got.
I've got the ambassador.
Okay.
It's a festive ambassador, so it's black. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, what sort of ambassador?
It's a festive ambassador.
Oh, festive.
So it's black, yeah.
Right. Because I was looking at it and I'm thinking it looks like you're getting headshots, which means you have to be able to aim, so I'm struggling already. But I thought, but it doesn't look like a regular ambassador, so I just wasn't too sure.
The festive ambassador is quite different.
Is that a big part of your spy play, sort of revolver spy?
Absolutely not. Honestly, the ambassador is purely there just for fun. Key thing about my playstyle is that I play things just for fun.
Yeah.
I'm not playing to be serious. I'm playing just for fun.
Right.
And it is very fun to use the ambassador.
Yeah. You just seem to have the routine, the method down really well. I see you land a lot of headshots. Once that gun comes out, it's uncommon to walk away from it. So you do that really well.
To be honest, though, I'm not really that good at using the ambassador. I'm mainly just lucky because people are always in my face whenever I'm using it.
Okay. That would make them back away pretty quickly, I imagine.
Well, actually, no. Whenever people do see a spy, they want them dead. They will not stop until they're dead. It tends to be newer players that you can bait into sentries, or your entire team, say.
Oh, yeah. I've just noticed something else here as well, just watching your gameplays with the ringer, your use of the ringer. Now, I'll see if I can catch it here on the video. When it activates, you seem to deactivate it very quickly.
Yes. Okay, yeah, that's what I was going to talk about. If you go back to where the heavy was, like in the video.
Yep, let me see if I can get back to that.
Yeah, right here.
Okay.
So if you notice here, I wait for the heavy.
Yep.
And it looks like I'm trying to go for a trick step, but I'm really not. I'm just trying to get him to damage me so I can get the speed buff and go into that highly crowded area very quickly.
Yes.
There wasn't anyone there, but yeah, you get the idea, right?
So it's almost like the big earner, where you get the speed bump after the backstab. So you basically goaded the heavy into hitting you and then use the speed buff from the dead ringer to get away from him and then hopefully pick up some extra backstabs while you're moving quickly when you went into that little room area.
Yeah. Because key thing about Spy and getting trick stabs is that it's just whoever's faster.
Yeah.
If you're faster than the enemy, you'll be getting it.
Now, you just mentioned trick stabs. What are your favorite trick stabs?
Ooh, okay.
No pressure.
That's true. Well, to be fair, there's only 1, 2, 3 actual trick stabs, and then everything else is just like a demo of it, I guess.
A variation on them.
Yeah, like you hear about people saying surf stabs, but really that's just using a rocket to get a surf.
Uh-huh.
And then you just stare stabbing someone.
Right, so that's where, say, a soldier might fire a rocket at your feet, which throws you up in the air because you've jumped as it hits your feet. And then as you fall down, you position yourself so that you can get the backstab as you're landing.
Yeah.
Okay,
so really it's just a stare stab.
So that's a drop stab? Is that a better way to talk about it?
To me, drop stabs and stare stabs are the exact same thing. You're just stabbing them from a higher elevation.
Okay, but I've seen you do stair stabs where you're not even watching, where you're facing away from them, they're following you upstairs, and then I think you jump backwards, and somehow you still get the backstab.
To be honest, I've actually only ever done that once.
Is that right? That's one more time than I have.
Yeah, because the answer to that one is that is purely reliant on your ability to predict and time your opponent.
Yeah, because you can't see them, so you have to predict where they're going to be and the timing of that.
Yeah.
No, that makes perfect sense. So you mentioned there are 3 types of trick stabs?
Yeah, the other one is, of course, Matador.
Yeah.
That's like the normal one. And then I guess the other one would be... No, actually, sorry, there's 2 more. There's corner stab, and then there is understab or drop stab. No, it's understab, I think.
Oh, an understab where the person you're stabbing is actually above you.
Yeah, an understab is actually very good because understabs tend to be a lot more reliable.
Okay, that is still on the stairs, is it? An understab?
No, that's when like you dropped off just a cliff or something. Like, you know, to the right of where I am at right now.
Yeah.
There's like that medium health pack.
Oh yes, I know the one.
Yeah, so it's when the enemy is literally dropping down from above and you're stabbing them from below. Yeah?
Right.
Key thing about a drop stab is that it's very hard for the opponent to actually be able to counter it because they're coming towards you. They cannot stop coming towards you, and it's very difficult for them to actually be moving in that situation.
Right. I can remember there was a fellow that I used to watch, and he was doing a lot of spy tutorials, and he'd do a lot of the key times. You'd see him backstabbing somebody, and then a second later there's another backstab, and there's another. But he would actually demonstrate a lot of these really cool trick stabs. I think it was OMFG Ninja. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. But,
I'll be honest, I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, and he was a lot of fun. And he stressed that he was doing this for entertainment purposes because people might find him on the server and they'll say, oh, you're not doing as many backstabs as we see you in your videos. And he'd say, well, no, because...
Honestly, it's very unrealistic what's actually like. Because you're hitting those trick stabs, but you're not hitting them every second.
Yeah, absolutely. So I used to get a lot of ideas from him. And I think he mentioned the idea of dropping down, or I guess even stabbing from below, but particularly dropping down on a victim. And it was virtually impossible for them to avoid you. If you manage to time this right, there's just no getting away with it.
Yeah, so that's another thing I want to talk about. Stair stabs. That's pretty much what he's talking about in this case. They are almost unavoidable. They're the best trick stab to do on heavy. Especially if the heavy knows that it's you.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is that it is incredibly difficult for a heavy to keep striking you and for them to turn around to defend against your stab.
And this is a drop stab or a stair stab, as you call them?
This would be a stair stab, yeah.
Okay. And Matador, I've seen heavies frantically fanning the bullets left and right, trying to keep up with you, and down the heavy goes.
Yeah, Matador can only work on a heavy if they over-aim.
So they predict that you're going further than you actually do.
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. We've got a little bit of gameplay here, and I just sort of wanted to try and get into your head a little bit about what's happening in the moment, if that's okay. And I apologize if there's too much lag, if it's going to make it difficult for you to see what I'm seeing.
Also, there's a little spot over there.
Yeah, I'll just see. You're coming in on a spy right now.
But I messed up the stab on him, so now we're friends.
Okay. I saw you being friendly a couple of times on these last couple of games.
Yeah, okay. Well, I honestly like to be friendly rather than actually just fighting people.
Yeah, you do that in my streams too when we're playing, and I appreciate that. So I'm watching you here. You're moving your head around a lot as you're playing. Is that so that you're aware of your surroundings?
Yeah, to check that nobody could be stabbing me, to check that I'm not running into anyone. Yeah, you just have to be really aware when you're playing Spy.
Yeah. And now you're doing stuff that I struggle a little bit with. You just jump off the rails.
Yeah.
You're off the rails, mate. You're off the rails. And that really is hard to keep track of because a lot of players don't use them. Oh, there's a nice stair stab as well.
Yeah.
There's over the rails. Look at that. You see, I would go... I'm a very plain spy. I would have gone around the walkway, but you went across the rails so much faster, and
Well,
the
of course you have
engine
to be
couldn't stop
tricky.
you.
Of course you have to be tricky, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
So, and jumping over the rails in that case would have been the most difficult thing for them to track.
yeah, and it was even hard for me to track as I was watching it.
Yeah, but to be honest, during that time, I was actually trying to go for a stair stab
Okay.
because a stair stab in that situation would have been the best thing to do. But a good thing on the Engie's part, he stayed back.
Oh, those are great backstabs, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm just watching.
No, for some reason this rail works really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
look at that.
Couldn't do anything about him though because he's using the scorch shot.
Oh, so he set you on fire and then finished you off with the scorch shot.
No, what he did was that he used the scorch shot for the knockback. Now, because he used the knockback, of course, I can't get up to speed and I can't jump on his head, right?
Yeah.
I just missed that completely and it's very difficult.
I'm just watching some of your predictive stuff right now. So I would have thought, hey, you're in trouble because you're right up against the heavy. You've got the extra health, but you managed to get away from him.
Yeah, you always have an escape plan.
Yeah. So what are you thinking if you're looking for an escape plan? Are you thinking, what's around me?
Just thinking
Do I
about
use
how to
right?
get out. Just thinking about how to get away from this. But also, for certain times, sometimes it's just better to just go in.
Okay, what about the ringer though? Because I guess I don't deactivate the ringer as fast as you do, and that means then that I'm running around trying to refill it. Now, there's not too many ways to refill it, are there?
No, you purely just have to wait.
Yeah.
Unless you're using the Lost Ranger.
That's right. It's a very, well, it always feels to me to be a bit underpowered, the L'Etranger.
Well, actually, you say that, but in my opinion, the Lost Ranger is probably Spy's best revolver.
Really? Why?
Because the Lost
Sorry,
Ranger...
I sound so surprised. Go on, surprise me. The anticipation's incredible, right? Sorry to do this to you. Make sure you check out part 3 for RARA Surprise.